what do listing descriptions actually mean with the different types of wording? So, hidden real estate meaning.
The hidden language behind all the real estate. And we're going to help you guys look at these listing descriptions and really decipher what they really mean when they're saying all of these words. So, have you ever scrolled through Zillow and see words like cozy or charming? Those aren't just descriptions, they're code. Let us translate what they really mean. So, what does cozy mean?
It's
tiny.
Small AF.
Super cozy. But if you like that, that's good. But we just want to let you know that cozy means small. You'll be dodging furniture corners. So just, let you know when it says cozy, just know it's a little tight.
A little tight.
What about needs TLC?
Bring your wallet.
That means you're gonna have to spend. So if you're okay with having to spend a little bit to get what you want when you go into these properties, just know that when it needs a little bit of TLC, it's gonna need some tender love and care. It needs some help. It needs some work. It needs something to help it get to that status of either living, and some people take it a little too far. Sometimes TLC is like demo and rehab. So it just all depends on what that agent's definition of TLC really means. But just know you're going to have to put in some work. So if you're going to a house and you see the listing description says needs TLC, you got to put some work in.
If I'm an investor, I love finding houses that have the description of needs TLC, because that just means that's opportunity. For an end consumer, TLC is whoa. If you are that handyman type of person or handy lady or have the funds to do it, there's nothing wrong with TLC. That's opportunity. But from an end consumer that's trying to close and move in right away, it's not necessarily the right house for you.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that it also gives you a little bit of wiggle room potentially in the price too. Mm-hmm. So if you know that it needs TLC, sometimes, especially when it comes to the investor prices, they price a little bit higher so that you can come in at $10,000 lower and they actually still get the price that they want, but they priced it higher on purpose. So don't ever shy away from things that you think may be a little bit out of your price range, especially if it gives you that description of needing some TLC.
Personally, I love TLC, needing TLC. Moderate TLC, not major TLC, but moderate TLC is my go-to. But I'm also handy and know how to do things.
Me. Not at all. So what about quiet neighborhoods? Nothing wrong with that, guys. Let's just first say that small little caveat. When we're talking about these words or these coded words, there's nothing wrong with these words. We just want to let you know what the meaning is behind them and what to expect when you see them. So when you see a quiet neighborhood, if you love the quiet neighborhood, just know that it may be quiet, but it also may be far from the stores, far from the freeway. If you're looking for easy access to things, quiet neighborhood can mean it's a little bit of a distance away from where you're trying to get to.
You out in the boonies. That's what quiet neighborhood means. It's nice, and being from somebody who grew up in the country, that's nice. Quiet is nice, but if you're looking for that city feel sometimes, you're going to be far away from everything. So quiet is nice, but if you're looking for like that city feel, close to proximity and stuff like that, it's a little bit farther away.
Right, and take this time to see. Like, I know when I bought my house, I'm a huge shopper. I like to shop, and I like to go over my mom's house. So the three things I did was I saw the distance between both malls, Somerset and 12 Oaks, so that's where I shop, and my mom's house. So I needed to know that distance before I put an offer on anything. So if you're concerned with schools, or you're concerned if you're going out of district and your child goes to a private school or somewhere, look at those distances between the most frequent areas you go to, whether it's your parents' house or grandparents' house. Where do you spend the most of your time? Work, right? Where do you spend the most of your time? And if you need that under 15-minute range, make sure you do that before you even go see a house, because it's a waste of time if you already know that you're way too far and out of the proximity. Now, sometimes if you love the house, then maybe. But at the same token, if your major concern is about being close to your mom or being close to the school or being close to the highway, take into consideration of doing that GPS before you get to go see the house. And make sure your agent knows, because the more you tell your agent, the more you disclose about what you're looking for, the quicker they can find you the house that you're looking for.
Yes. Quiet's nice.
But what about vintage? What does that mean?
It ain't been updated since the 1980s. That's what that means.
So again, if you like that style, then sure. But just know that vintage means classic, means probably wallpaper, old tiles, pink bathrooms, blue bathrooms, marble. I went to a house not too long ago, and the entire bathroom was all the same tile from the floor to the walls. Even in the shop, like the whole bathroom was done with this tile. I'm like, what were they thinking? I wish I had a video so I could show you guys. If I do, I'll make sure I pop it in there so you can see it through the video, but I'm not sure if I do. But it was wild. It was different.
Vintage is the paneling. I think that's the biggest one for me when I think of vintage, like all of the brown wood tone style paneling.
I had that. The shag carpet, I had that when I bought my house.
Shag carpet for sure.
I bought it at a bargain so that I could make it what I wanted, and I had shag carpet, I had paneled walls, I had big boulders for a fireplace design. The boulders were huge. They were carrying out, it was crazy. They had it was a mess. But yes, so vintage, if you like that, that's what it means. It's probably dated, really dated, 20, 30 years dated, 40. So just keep that in mind.
40 some odd years now,
Yes.
because 80s is at least 45 years ago.
Oh, that's crazy. So what about those houses that are investor special? If you're not an investor, don't buy them.
Investor special means just bring the pocketbook again, be ready to do everything, bring the toolbox, tool belt, studs, paint, drywall, everything.
Yes, it all. And if you need some
HVAC,
references for any of those professionals, please let us know in the comments below, and we will be sure to send you our book of vendors if you need those while you're watching this video. Just comment below your email address and your name, and we'll send it right over.
So, tons of potential.
There's a reason it's been sitting on the market. Tons of potential. I mean, there's so many words you can wrap around tons of potential. So the house has potential, right? Mm-hmm. So that means you're going to need to bring the potential with you to actually get it to the potential. So you have to do some things. Update the floors, update the kitchens, the bathroom. I wouldn't necessarily call that an investor special. I don't think it would fit in that category. No. But it's a solid house. It's great for a home buyer that's gonna come in and zhuzh it up, make it look better. Yeah. Like, I think that it's not necessarily dated. It may be out of style for a said particular area or whatever the case may be. So those are like when you think about potential. This house has potential. You need to do a little bit to get it to where it meets its value, I should say.
Right. And it's always interesting when you look at a new listing and it has that wording right away. You're just inviting yourself to have that house on the market for long periods of time, unless you have people lined up that are in that realm of interest for that home style or category. So, so tons of potential is that specific type of buyer pool, and not everybody's in that buyer pool. Most of the time, they're not in that buyer pool. If you put that in a listing, you're going to attract some buyers that look for the handyman or
ready to bulldoze the
price, or you're an investor. One of two things. Unless your pictures are really good, you're not going to have a ton of buyers that are looking to jump on it right away. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, I would agree. So just be careful, and I can say that for the realtors out there too. Be careful of the words you use. And I know, there's chat and all the things, but make sure that you are saying the right words so you attract the right buyers and the right people to come and visit your house, because every single word matters, and it all will look different to the consumer's eye depending on what you're saying. So if you have an ideal client that you want for this purchase, then be sure to attract that person by the listing description, because those consumers are out there reading, and we're out here telling them what to look for. So
I mean, piggybacking off of that, when we do listing tickets, sometimes it sometimes is good to just be straightforward. If it's an investor special, I mean, people aren't gonna waste their time. Yeah. So jazzing it up with some of these words is one thing, but when the house needs TLC, it's pretty good to be straightforward and just tell the consumer that, to not waste anybody's time, so that investors know that it's really more tailored to them.
What else? Charming and unique.
It is one heck of a quirky layout and floor layout.
And I think, I'm trying to think of, as we're doing this, what is the first thing that comes to mind when you say charming and unique? I think old. When I say charming, I think old. I think smaller.
Odd finishes.
Yeah, when it says charming, I don't know. I would have to go and see like what. And everybody's definition of charming is different. So, comment below some stuff that you think. What does the word charming describe to you when you're thinking about a charming house? Somebody's grandmother lives in there. That's not thinking about grandma.
Yeah.
I think, oh, my cute little grandma. So just beware of that word as well. Original owner.
Nothing has been done to it since they bought the house.
Possibly. I know. I remember, keep in mind, guys, all these things are just us letting you know what the possibilities of it is. I still encourage you, if you like the house, get out there, see it, have your realtor take you out there, but just be forewarned of your expectation. I know we've talked about the emotional roller coaster several times on several different episodes. So just know to underestimate versus overestimate, especially when it comes to those photos. So the original owners, nothing probably has been touched, and you want to see if it's the original owner and the house was built in 2009. But if the house was built in 1927, and that might be an issue. And I'm sure those pictures will be able to tell that too. So just be cautious of that.
Photos coming soon means
trying to clean up.
Mid fixing something up before they are willing to put it on the market with new photos.
And sometimes people, and also, again, take this with a grain of salt. It could mean that they're just waiting for the photographer to get their photos back, and depending on who you hire, it may not be 24 hours. And
that one is a little bit more gray area, because half the time sometimes sellers just want to list the house right now, and you don't have time to get pictures. So that one's not as I wouldn't say any of these are alarming, but the layout or whatnot of the house or the photos, that's just more of a timing thing versus not a red flag, but
so just ask, where are the photos? Look. What about open concepts? So open concepts means that the walls came down. That's great, but you could have potentially, depending on when the house was built, you could have potentially lost storage. So those houses that were built probably from the 50s to the 80s, late 80s, they had a lot of closet space. So if you see that they're built in between those years and there is an open concept, because open concepts are more popular in the last 15 to 20 years, more popular, I should say. Yeah. They were around, but they're more popular. That's what people crave for.
That's the now, and I think the future.
Right, exactly, 100%, because people
open
love
floor concept.
All of that
is everything.
But if you have an older house, then just know that if they did do an open floor concept, they took down some walls, so you want to make sure that the structure is sound. Yep. And then also, where's your closet space? Did the front closet disappear when they took the walls down? Because there's that. Did something else disappear? Did another room that you could have had disappear? All those things matter, and you want to keep that in mind when you hear open concept from a house that is older.
So why agents use this type of language? It's to highlight some positives but soften the negatives, so that psychologically the buyer is still open to going and looking at some of these houses. Everybody does it. There's no getting around it, but this whole episode is formed to inform you as the buyer to understand what did some of these words mean, so that you're informed when you do want to look at a house that needs TLC or is charming or is unique.
And all the things. And as a good buyer's agent, we're going to make sure that we look at the listing description and don't spin your wheels wasting time seeing houses that you just don't like. So again, I would say always a good buyer's consultation from your buyer is the key to knowing exactly what the buyer wants, right? So if you get down to nitty gritty and know what they want, you're able to decipher. And because we are agents and we see these codes and we use these codes ourselves, we know what they mean. And we don't want to put you out on the road and go see 20 houses, and out of the 20, only 2 of them you like because of all of these crazy little quirky words. So if you're a buyer out there searching right now, watch this video. If you've seen some of these words, let us know in the comments. Agents, if you have any idea as to what these words mean or what your interpretation of these words, we would love to see it. Let's see what's happening. Comment below, leave some comments.
If you like this video so far, if you would do us a solid and like, comment, or share this video, we would greatly appreciate it, because we are trying to get this channel to really take off, and we're just providing this awesome value to you, buyers, sellers, and investors, and all real estate minds alike. So if you would give us a like, follow, and a share, that'd be very much appreciated.